Hello guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to see another video in hanging pawn, and we'll see that how terrible hanging pawn could look like with an example, because last few videos we have seen that how white launched powerful attack with the hanging pawn, how d4 d5 break could be useful, how pawn transformation could be useful, knight e5 knight e5 d5 structure, and here we will see how hanging pawn could be inferior. So if you look at this position already black is having hanging pawn on b5 and d5, and it's a terrible pawn structure. Why? First of all, black is not having the dark square bishop, and this is already being targeted by white pieces. So we will see that how black came into this situation. We'll see the game from the start. It was a game between Sandro Mereco and Christian Tooth in 2012, and this game will be illustrates how the hanging pawns may be blocked and it can be subsequently attacked by the white pieces. So the game starts with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, g3, bishop b4 check, going to place bow Indian, bishop d2, bishop into d2, knight into d2, d5, bishop g2, castle, knight gf3, b6, castle, all things are going on opening. Bishop c1, sorry, bishop d7, rook c1, knight bd7, c d5, e d5 happened, knight e5, and in this position, black has played c5, and this is a very careless move, I would say. That white immediately took on knight into d7, knight into d7, bc5, and still better chance for black was to take with the knight. Still better playing with an IQP, and this isolated pawn is not that much bad because knight can come to e4, and maybe and someday black can get relief from this isolated pawn. So knight b3 could possible, knight e6. That was at least little bit better position for, and e3. White is having very pleasant structure, but definitely black is not that much worse when black has taken with the b into c5. Now we'll see that how white will block those two hanging pawns and it will be attacked subsequently. So knight to b3, immediately attacking this d5, and black cannot maintain this hanging pawn, the ideal c5 and d5 position. Black has to push it. Again, bishop c8 not possible because of bishop d5. So black has played c4, knight d4, and here if you see, once the hanging pawn get blocked by a knight, white's advantage is very obvious. Black's bishop is bad, white bishop is targeting these weaknesses, okay, and once d5 will fall, eventually the c4 will also fall together. So queen a5 played by black. Another alternative could have been knight to e5, but that doesn't make any sense because of b3, queen d7, knight f3, knight into f3, bishop into f3, c into b3, queen into b3, and again this isolated pawn is very poor. Rook d1 will pick it up. Black is having difficult defense ahead, but at least due to the permanent weakness on d5, but at least what he has played much better than that. Queen a5. There was another alternative. Black could also try knight to f6. That b3 again, bishop a6. White will try to break this hanging pawn structure and it will transfer into an isolanist setup. So knight f5, cb3, ab3, and rook e8, rook e1, and white is having a great version of isolated pawn. So by keeping those in mind, black has played queen a5, but definitely that's not a good move. b3 again, that's the standard way that how we should block those pawns and then break it. So b3 again, we are threatening this b into c4. So queen into a2 is not possible because of rook a1, queen b2 and bc4. Again, I'm threatening rook b1 as well as, sorry, c into d5. So b3, rook a b8, knight f5. Again, white's positional dominance is now turning into an attack. The immediate threat is knight e7 and capture on d5. So here black has played knight f6. Again, rook c2, rook fd8, and correct better move was again to take on cb3 and go to the isolated structure ab3, and the game will continue. Queen b6, rook queen d4, queen d4, knight d4, and it's a long term advantage for white. This pawn is very weak, and again white can also bring the rook, target this pawn. Black has played rook fd8, queen c1. Now white forces are well coordinated, and again white is threatening to play queen g5 to get some attack on the king side as well. So h6 has been played. Again alternative was cb3, ab3, again going towards this isolated structure where I don't know, black has not played this thing. Knight e8, rook fc1. White's is dominating this position with all the pieces are active, all the pieces are properly placed. But again queen b3 is not possible here. Just let me explain, because of knight h6 check, king f8, and rook c7. This is completely lost. Can take, but checkmate is kind of unstoppable. You can take here, but then simply queen h6. Oh, sorry, queen to e7, and the game is over already. This is checkmate. So in this position, rook c7 and queen a3, rook f7, king e8, queen e5 check again with stopping somehow, and queen e7 is checkmate. So checkmate is anyhow unstoppable. So black played h6, stops queen g5 idea. Here white has played queen f4, immediately threatening knight into h6, and then queen into f6. Now black took on b3, cb3, ab3, queen to b6, rook fc1. Again white is having a dominant position. d4, black is trying to trade off more and more pieces. Bishop b7, rook b7, and white to play. Again queen b7 is not possible because of knight h6. We have already seen that gh6 takes. You can take on b3, but queen h6 is completely winning for white. So bishop b7. Pause the video for a moment. Find out what white has played. After that, black's position just fall apart and white was completely winning. Even after 3 moves, black has resigned the game. So I hope you have paused and figured out if everyone got the move. Rook to c6. You cannot take, it's a taboo because of knight and e7. Sorry, you cannot take because of rook into c6, and this is, you are losing your queen. And if you are moving the queen back, we have the simple exchange sacrifice. We all know knight on f5, queen landing on h6, just dead lost. Gh6, queen h6, and black has resigned this position in the view of there is no stop of queen g7 checkmate. And we see that how careless opening by black to taking the hanging pawn setup backfired him, and it was not the ideal position to take that hanging pawn structure. So black should take that hanging pawn structure when black is having the bishop, dark square bishop specifically on the board. Then black will generate some sort of counterplay. But here it was not the case, and black lost very quickly actually. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please share with your friends. If you are new in my channel, kindly subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.